Hello, good evening, everyone. It's me, Calvin. Today we will be looking into the Sunday Market Prep. Thank you for joining for our round and search. And remember to give us a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our Facebook page. Okay, and if you like this, remember to give us a like. Okay, and sorry about the YouTube side. And I know previously I set it at 7:30, so it's actually at 8:30. I'll do the reset again. Okay, so right now we know that the market has last week when the market closed, there's a lot of price are moving up, a lot of gainers, so seems like it's okay, which is something like what happened in the past few weeks of the Friday. So we notice something here is that every week of the Fridays, the KLCI tends to move up higher. There's a lot of gainers in the market, but I find there are some difference between the last Friday and the previous few Friday before, because the previous few Friday is always like, oh, suddenly there's a lot of gainers, and then on the coming weeks, then the market goes down again and then move up again and goes down again. So what are the difference over here is that we can look into the list over here, which are the component stock of KLCI. So you can see, Nestle, I'm not going to talk about it because the price is moving up higher. Something here is that the stock price is moving up higher here. The difference here is that we can see last Friday, we see there's a lot of high volume are coming in. Okay, so if you look into the past few weeks, the Friday, you can see this one over here is also Friday, and then on here also is a Friday, and a 28 here. This one is also a Friday, so you can see every time 1 2 3 4 okay, 1 2 3 4 5, yeah, correct. So 25th long weekend. Okay, so we do see here is that most of the time when there's on Friday, the stock price are open up higher, and then or maybe it tends to trade a little bit higher here, like for in the past few weeks. But then after that, right after that, Monday the price are going down, Monday price going down, then that's it. But what we find here on last Friday is that that is a high volume are showing up. The high volume with price up basically is telling us it's a bullish sign where the buyers or the big boys, they are ready to mark the price up higher instead of churning the volume to attract the buyers to come in like the past few weeks before. And if we look into the 5-minute charts, we do see that they have a lot of all this high volume over here are mainly created with price up. So all these price up over here are coming in with the high volume, not so much about high volume throwing the price down lower. So it's not so much of the selling pressure. So that's why we find that is something different here from now. So are they preparing for this or the market going to have a rebound before the election, or are they going to really this rebound is coming back? So we have been tricked in the market for a few times, for one over months or maybe like 2 months back, since September price moving up and then it goes to crash it back down again and move back up again. So is this showing up? So from our understanding and also how we analyze the market about the price and volume, how these big boys are doing. So usually what they do is that they will, if they really have the intention to mark the price up higher, the big boys are coming back, then there will be a high volume coming in, and they will try to sustain the price at the high side where we can see high volume in, and then the price are pushing up higher and higher. So this is one of two of these stocks over here showing this sign. And then if you see those that is marking up higher, they have the same kind of characteristic in the price movement as well. High volume price are up higher. So this one, not sure whether they will have a continuation or not. Let's see. Price movement like this doesn't seem to have much of the price continuation are coming. Okay, but that's the side. Okay, but what we see here is that most of the stock in the component side, okay, KLCR component stock, they have high volume with high price coming up. So this actually telling us that they are ready to mark the price up higher. But of course, not all of them. Some of them in the 5-minute chart, it doesn't show that they have much of the intention to continue to mark the price up higher, but some of them they do. So that's why you have to be, although it's a good sign, but we also need to be careful and be very selective on what stocks to look into it, because in the market right now, most of the big boys, they have lesser funds in hand comparing to 2020 time, where the central bank are printing out money or lowering, doing a lot of QE. So there's a lot of funds in the market, so that's why they can just buy anything that they want for the big boys. Okay, so that's why you can see the stock price are moving up higher and higher during that time. But right now, they are reducing the QE, so which means that the lesser money is in the market, of course, interest rate as well. So they are going to reduce the money flow in the market, which means that have lesser money inside. Like for example, if let's say previously during 2020 time, where the price is up to about like 4 ringgit, okay, then suddenly lesser fund in the market, so you have lesser fund to support the price at the high side, so that's why the price are going down lower. So at the same time also we have lesser fund in the market, okay, which means that the big boys, they will be very selective on what kind of stocks they want to look into it. Okay, so that's why you have to be very careful on selecting the stock. Not the, even though if let's say there is a rebound that is coming in, so it's not gonna be a rebound that is going to show something like 2020 time. It will be very gradual price movement, moving up higher overall market, but some of it would definitely be some of the team run. So you can look back into team run like before the pandemic. Okay, so you can see before the pandemic, every year there will be a team run. A team run means that there will be a sector running. That sector we can look into it. And how do we know about that? Of course, we don't look into some of those what is already said in the market, because they have already set their price there and then they are marking up higher. As long as those stock price is not moving up higher after, don't chase high, basically don't chase high. Okay, so that's what we see from here. There's a lot of high volume price up, but not all of them. Okay, some of them, they are just attracting buyers, so you have to be very careful about it. So since these are the one that is going that went up on Friday, right? So let's check those that is down on Friday, which is like Maybank, Maxis, and RHB. Maybank is the biggest, okay, heaviest weight in KLCI component stocks. So this can tell some story whether this whether it will continue to mark it up higher or not. But so far we do see like volume down with price down, volume high with price down. So seems like there's still some selling pressure inside. So when there's still some selling, there are still selling pressure in that stock. So basically it means that it's not so soon of the price. Like you say, there's a lot of high volume coming in, right? Okay, in fact this one have some support coming in with volume in, and then price are staying about the same point. So it's not that bad, but I don't think I think on Monday wise, market morning, it might actually open up higher, and then it start to have a little bit of a retrace and stuff like that. Okay, so it's gonna be I think it's still staying at the positive, but it's not that bad like last time, where after Friday and then the next week, and then starting off with a market down, right? Okay, so that's on the component side, which is some positive things that we have we see here. So how about those in the top active list, which is maybe not component stocks? Okay, this one is the component stocks. Let me see what are they doing here. Okay, so high volume, but the price don't mark it up higher, so usually I don't want to look into that. Okay, so how about those non-component stocks? They still have volume in for this, but okay, volume in, price marking up higher, so seems okay with this. So if let's say overall market they are doing the same thing, then basically that is a good sign to us. So which means that if you are worried about it, then go for short term or maybe day trading, because it's lower risk if you know how. All right, if you know how, then it's lower risk, because you are entering and then exit. Then next thing, what is going to happen to the stock price is, you're not affected. All right, so of course, some of those stocks that is mid cap or maybe small cap, you have to be extra careful about it, because some of it, when okay, a very simple thing on how to look into whether you need to be careful into some of those which stocks that you have to be careful of is basically those stocks that they have already moved up and then it's at the high side. So basically don't chase high. Okay, don't chase high. So you will, of course, you will see this kind of stocks that keep on moving up higher and higher. These are what we call it the churning stocks. Every day there will be high volume, and you will notice it's always like T+4 high volume, T+4 high volume, T+4 high volume. All right, so these are the stocks that you have to be a bit careful about it, because when they start to throw it down, then it's going to be very scary. So even myself, I also tell my students that you have to be careful with this kind of stock, because once they throw it down, it's gonna be very scary about this kind of stocks. You can see continuously moving up higher. You never know when are they going to throw the price down lower. You can see all this price throwing down lower is dangerous. So try to avoid something like this. That is always the fluctuation is two three ticks, and then consistently high volume. All right. So this is the first lesson I always tell my students to avoid this kind of stocks. Okay. So yeah, or maybe those stocks that previously they have done, like, this kind of attracting buyers. Okay, and then try to be a little bit careful about it, because even though they have the high volume comes in, but they are not marking up the price, then it means that they have no intention to mark it up higher. So stay away from it. Okay, or maybe those that has been trading a lot up higher, okay, has been moving up higher previously, and you start to see like those price going down bit by bit, then be careful of this, because usually when they are going down bit by bit, it's because they don't want to create that kind of fear or panic selling to the retail investors. Because the retail investor is very simple. Every one of us, if let's say we incur a very high or very huge losses, then, or suddenly a huge losses that you will get panic and quickly cut loss. But when your losses is accumulated day by day, bit by bit, you don't feel that kind of pain. And once you realize it's a lot of losses, then you won't cut loss. Okay, that's the retail investor mindset. So if you can change that, then it's good. But of course, in order for you to change that, you need to have that kind of what is how does the big boys work? How do you know that the price is going to fall? How do you know whether the price is going to move up before the price action kick comes in? So then you have more reasons to tell yourself like, okay, you have to cut loss, you have to exit, you have to take profit. Or else, if you are using a traditional way where you wait for the resistance breakout, you enter based on resistance breakout, and then you wait for it to hit your cut loss, your take profit point, or you wait for it to hit your cut loss point, you when the price is moving up on the way up, and then it starts to come down from here, you do not know what to do, because you only thought like wait for the cut loss point, or wait for the take profit point, or wait for the cut loss point. So when, okay, my mic is on, okay, just in case. So when the price start to move down and then you do not know what to do, when the price goes down lower, you start to think like, oh, maybe you should just wait and things like that. And because of the losses that you have incurred, then it's very difficult for you to cut loss, because you do not know what is happening in the market. So you don't cut loss or you don't take profit earlier, is because you are hoping, you are expecting the price to hit here, and or maybe at this point. So basically you are just holding on to it because you're creating reasons for yourself to hold on to the stocks. or maybe you look into some of the fundamentals, or maybe the financial statement of them, they shows good. So then you try to hold on to those stocks. Okay, so that's why you have to understand how this big boy works. Then it's much more easier for you to trade, and also it's much more a better way for you to execute your take profit and also your cut loss. And you never have that kind of chances where you are at the profit and then suddenly it goes down, profit turns into losses. So yeah, so you have to understand it well. But a lot of investors in the market, they don't understand that. They always thought like, okay, you need to understand what that kind of business, like Warren Buffett say, you need to understand that kind of business, then only you invest into it. But before you understand what kind of business these stocks are doing, you need to know the business that you are in right now is trading, is investment in the stock market, and how this investment in the stock market or trading works. Basically, the market is actually the price movement. Sometimes you can see is not directly related with the fundamental of it. It's all about the expectation. So that's why the price can move up higher. The very good example, you can look into tech company. So tech company, they have no profit, no nothing. So how do they make profit out of it is they just based on the expectation, the future of it. So that's why it's about expectation. So who can move the price is the big boss. All right. Yep. Okay, so basically let me do a summarize here. So it's very simple. In the market right now, especially right now, is the earnings season. So if you know how earnings season is a good time for us to take advantage of it on the let's say the some of the stocks. KLSE quarterly financial report. So you can see any of the stocks that they are having a positive earnings. So I'm not saying asking you to look into it for long term or maybe a short term or maybe mid term like this, but the big boys, you always try to take advantage of this kind of news. What do I mean from here is that they will take advantage of this kind of news where a lot of us will look into it, so the price will move up higher. They will jack up the price. Then a lot of retail investors or maybe beginners like to see this. Oh, this one good quarterly result, so they invest into it. So that's how they jack the price up higher and then they pump it down lower. So you can actually take profit while they jack the price up. So when they jack the price up higher during that day, then you can take the profit, okay, before they throw the price down lower. And of course, you need to know how, okay? So, but let's say, for example, this one is... But those stocks that before the announcement is made, the earnings come out, but the price already move up higher, then try to avoid it because they already jack up the price and then they start to throw the price down lower. So if you want to know how this earning report, how you can make profit out of it, you can go to our website, www.brownandsearch.com. It's in the description box. Go to the blog or maybe news tab. So you can see that I've written the blogs about it. So you can watch it from there. All right. So yeah, basically the market is some is good, some is no good, but I can see that in the, if you want to be very safe, you can trade some of the component stocks. If let's say you know how to look into it, then you can trade some of the small stocks, but select those that is not, let's say example like this one, previously they already move up higher, so try to avoid that. And just now I already shared with you guys on how to see those stocks that they are at the peak of the price, like this guy, price throwing down slowly bit by bit. Okay, so if you are watching this right now, then play back and see what is the things that I mentioned. Okay, so those that have already moved up higher previously, then try to avoid it, don't chase high into it. Okay, so yeah, that's overall the market over here. And of course, if you want to know more on December wise, we have our December intake is coming up for our operator analysis training course. If you want to know how these big boys work in the market, how to analyze a transaction to have a much more precise entry and exit and the take profit and have achieve more consistent profit, if you want to achieve that, then you can look into our training course. Okay, so you can contact us or drop us a WhatsApp or PM us, especially right now, right? So it's a good time for you to learn how to look into it when the market is coming back. Okay, so that's all here for today. And remember to give us a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our Facebook page. And I'll see you guys again next week. All right. And of course, if let's say you have any questions or things that you want to look into it or question that you want to ask about trading, you can always leave a message in the comment and tell us what do you feel about it. All right. So thank you very much. Wish every one of you a happy trading week ahead. Bye bye.
Wrong and search. True traders react to the market.